Hi everyone, welcome to Math Moment with Mr. Dustin. I'm Mr. Dustin. So today we're going to be discussing greatest common factor and least common multiple. And these are some middle school concepts actually. I found them in the 6th grade Common Core requirements. So 6th grade and up, this will be a great concept. And if you're in high school, I mean, this could be great to review even for just identifying your factors and multiples and stuff like that. And there is a formative assessment at the end of this video. The link is in the description, and there's a code you can enter for a virtual visitor badge. So I encourage you to take the quiz and earn that code. So enjoy the video. All right, so today we'll be discussing greatest common factor and least common multiple. So let's begin with greatest common factor. And I'm going to break down this phrase by each of these words here. So factor is something that you can multiply by something else to get another number. So for example, 2 and 4 makes 8 when you multiply them, right? So 2 is a factor of 8 and 4 is a factor of 8. And then the common part refers to when you have two numbers that have the same factor. In other words, two numbers have a common factor. For example, 8 has factors 2 and 4. 4 has factors 1 and 4. Therefore, no pun intended, 4 is a common factor of 4 and 8, if that makes sense. And then greatest refers to the largest number that is a common factor, as opposed to like, oh, this one's the best, although it may be the best, we don't really know. So the largest common factor basically is what this is saying. So let's go into some examples to really see like how this works. So let's start with 24 and 16. Well, let's look at some factors of 24. We know we have 1, obviously, and we know that can multiply with 24 to be a factor. So we have 1 and 24, and I'm going to put these in order, but you'll see me type them out corresponding to how you multiply them. So the next one is 2. 2 multiplies with 12 to become 24. Another one is 3. You can multiply that with 8. And then finally, we have 4 and 6. And for the purposes of today's video, I'm only going to be discussing positive numbers. So all you negative number lovers, I'm sorry, we're not going to do negative numbers today. But here are the positive ones. And that's for 24. And then 16, we'll do 1 and 16. Then there's 2 and 8. And then there's 4, which would multiply with 4. But since it's already listed there, I'm not going to list it again because that would be repetitive. So let's find which of these factors is the largest and is in both of them. So we know 1 is in both of them, but there's 2 right here, and that's in both of them. So 1 can't be it. 4 is also in both of them, so 2 can't be it. 8 is in both of them, so 4 can't be it. And there's nothing greater than 8 that is a factor of both of these. So 8 is our greatest common factor. I'll just put that right there. So let's look at another example. 30 and 15. Let's list some factors of 30. Well, we have 1 and 30. We have 2 and 15. We have 3 and 10. And there's 5 and 6. And you'll notice, you'll know when you reach the end of the factor list, when you have two numbers that are either like right next to each other or the same number, like there's obviously nothing, like no whole numbers in between 5 and 6 that you can multiply to get 30, or even multiply together since 5 and 6 are right next to each other. And then we'll list some factors of 15. So 1 and 15, and then 3 and 5. And we know these are factors because you can multiply them together to get 15. So which one is the greatest of these factors? Well, we have 1, we have 3, and we have 5, and we have 15. Well, 15 is the greatest factor of 15. And so that would mean, since it's in both of them, the greatest common factor of 30 and 15 is 15. Now let's look at 12 and 5. 12, let's see, what are some factors of 12? We have 1 and 12, and we have 2 and 6. Oops. And we have 3 and 4. Those are the factors of 12. And then 5, we just have 1 and 5. So 1 is in both of them, but 5 is not. So that means 1 is actually our greatest common factor. And that is possible. You'll always have something, but the least it can be is 1. In this case, 1 is our greatest common factor because 5 is nowhere to be found in our factors of 12. Let's look at some more examples, and then we'll move into a break. So 48. We have a lot of factors of 48 this time. We have 1 and 48. We have 2 and 24. We have 3 and 16. We have 4 and 12. And we have 6 and 8. And you'll notice 7 times 7 is 49, so it is not a factor of 48. And that's how we know to be done. Factors of 20 include 1 and 20, 2 and 10, and 4 and 5. Let's see what we have here. 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 4 and 4, no 5, no 10, no 20. So that would mean the greatest common factor of 48 and 20 is indeed 4. Now, 21 and 14. 21 has factors of 1 and 21, and 3 and 7. And you can feel free to test these if you don't believe me that these are the only factors. 14 has 1 and 14, 2 and 7. So we see 1 and 1, no 3, no 2, 7, no 21, and no 14. So 7 and 7, and that's the largest number, so that means 7 is the greatest common factor of 21 and 14. And finally, 18 and 4. So some factors of 18 are 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. And then some factors of 4, 1 and 4, and then 2 and 2, and I'm just going to list 2 once. So we have 1 and 1, 2 and 2, no 4, so that means 2 is our greatest common factor. So basically, if you just follow this process and go through all the factors, you may be doing it slower than me, but and that's okay. As long as you find all the factors of each of them and then kind of go through and see which one is the largest of them, you'll be just fine in this concept. That's pretty much all there is to greatest common factor. So we're going to go into a break, and we'll be right back. All right, so for the break today, I decided to do some more Baby Yoda shenanigans. And I'm going to go down to where our books are being checked in now, and I'll show you what that looks like. And I will place a Baby Yoda in one of the boxes. So that'll be fun. Yeah, so I'll see you back when I'm down there. All right, so this is the room where we set our check-in books. There's my coworkers, Leanne and Jen. So, and we also use this area for delivery. So let's take a look at how this works. Let's see, we've got these boxes over here, and we've labeled them with the date the books came in, and then we'll check them in 3 days later. So that lets them sit, and it allows us to deal with them safely, which is really cool. Here are shelving carts. I love these shelving carts. Let's see, these are from 3 days ago. Let's do the ones from today. I'm gonna place Baby Yoda in one of these. Just like so. And 3 days later, one of my unsuspecting coworkers will find that and be very surprised, hopefully. So yeah, this is our new check-in area, and it's pretty cool. Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the break. So let's get into least common multiple. And multiple refers to all of the products of numbers. So for example, it's like the result of multiplication. So for example, 2 we know has multiples 2, 4, 6, 8, right? Because 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, etc., etc. So that's what a multiple means. Common, again, is the same as the greatest common factor. It's like it's a multiple that is the same for 2 different numbers. And then least, this time means the smallest, as opposed to like least important, the worst, or it doesn't mean that. It just means the smallest. So smallest common multiple, that's what we're looking for. So let's go into how to do this. Let's see, 2 and 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to list the first 5 multiples of 2. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Just like so. And then I'm going to do the same with 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. Right. And so now we're just going to find the common ones out of this. So 2 is not in both of them, but there's 4. And that's all we need. 4 is the least one, obviously, since we listed them in order. So 4 is the least common multiple for 2 and 4. So this time, instead of looking for the greatest, we're looking for the least. And that kind of makes the job quicker if you want to think of it that way. So let's go on to 8 and 10. So multiples of 8 are 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40. And then some multiples of 10. This one should be easier. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So let's check these. So 8 is not in both of them. 10 is not in both of them. 16, 24, 32 are all not in both of them. Neither are 20 or 30. But hey, look, there's 40. So 40 happens to be our least common multiple of 8 and 10. And sometimes 5 is not good enough to get the common multiple. Sometimes you need more, and sometimes you need less, as we saw in the first one. So 3 and 11, here's one where we will need more than 5. And I will demonstrate. So we'll list the first 5 first. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Pretty straightforward. Like, okay, 11 is around there somewhere. So the first 5 multiples of 11, though, are 11, 22, 33, 44, and 55. Well, I don't see any of these in this list here. So that means we have to go higher than 15. So let's see, 18, no, 21, no, 24, no, 27, no, 30, no, 33. Hey, there's 33. So that's our least common multiple. And in this case, it does work better to figure out the multiples of the larger number first, because then you can just go up using the smaller number, and you know how to go up by 3 each time. That's all I did, really. I just added 3 every time. And you may be slower at this, and that is perfectly fine. It takes practice to figure this stuff out. And you'll notice 3 times 11 is 33. So we know that at the most, it has to be like the numbers multiplied together. So if you've gotten past there, you've gone too far, and you should go and check your factors, your multiples again, to make sure you didn't miss something. Because if you get past 3 times 11 in this case, then you've gone way too far. Because 3 times 11, that creates a multiple that is that's a multiple of both 3 and 11. Let's check on 5 and 12 here. So we have multiples of 5. We'll start with the first 5 again. 5, 10, 15, 25. Just like that. Fairly straightforward. Let's try some with 12. So we have 12, 24, 36, 48 and 60. And if you needed a calculator for that part, that is totally fine. That's a difficult one to memorize. More difficult than 5, obviously. So we notice we have all of these multiples and none of them are the same. So that means we need to add some more to 5 here. So let's see, we have 30, that's not it. 35, no. 40, no. 45, no. 50, no. 55, no. 60, hey, there it is, 60. So 60 is our least common multiple of 5 and 12. 3 and 6. Let's see what else we have. So 3 we know is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. We'll start there. And 6 we know is 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. Let's see, 3, no, 6. Hey, there it is, right at the beginning. So that's kind of nice. 6 is our least common multiple of 3 and 6. Now 4 and 9, this may be another long one. So let's see, 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. We'll start with that. And then let's do the first 5 of 9 here. We have 9, 18, 27, 36, and 45. So as we can see, none of them match again. So now we have to go into 4, which is the smaller one. What happened? There we go. And we'll add some more multiples here. So let's see, 4 times 6 is 24. And then we have 30. And then we have, nope, sorry, that's the wrong one. We have 28, and then we have 32. And then we have 36. And hey, there's 36. So that's the one that we want to use. 36 is our least common multiple. And there it is. So to review, greatest common factor, we're gonna go back here real quick. All you want to do is find the factors of each number that you're given. So everything that can multiply with something else to get that number is a factor. You want to list these factors for both of them and then find out which one they have in common, and you want to find the largest one they have in common. And that's all there is to that. Least common multiple, you want to just kind of list the multiples. In other words, list the results of when you multiply them by 1, 2, 3, 4, in order like that. That'll be the easiest way to keep track of it. And then you'll compare the two lists and find which of them is the same and which one is the least. In other words, like which one is the smallest. So yeah, that concludes our lesson. There is a formative assessment that I have for you. The link is in the description, and I'd appreciate it if you would take it. It gives me valuable data on how well I'm doing on these concepts. And there is also a code that you can enter for a virtual visitor badge. So the code is yours if you take the quiz. So I encourage you to take that. Yeah, thank you for watching this video and enjoy the rest of your day.